What are your pronouns? She, her. Your pronouns are she, her, she. Choose your body type. I'm going to choose 1. Hey, Rose. You are first. You have a body type 1. What's your name? It's going to be Key, obviously. Your name is Key. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here, of all places? Not that I dreamed of a career as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station? On the other hand, money is money. Money makes the world go round. I send out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. 0 responses. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Oh, that's a lot to read. Human orgasmness? I definitely said that word wrong. Wanted for work at gas station? I'm reading that word wrong and I don't know how to say it correctly. Organism. Yeah, that's the word. Organism duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience, obeying those who are more ancient, friendly team offers, new and old faces or friends, long and different. I don't understand what this is. I don't know. I don't get it. I found this note stuck to the glass of the bus stop. Food for mouth? Seriously? The guy's got a style of his own. Apparently, the manager is just an eccentric dude. Or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? They grabbed my attention, that's for sure. Whatever, people often told me that I have my quirks too. And that's even if they haven't seen my fursuit. Fursuit? Oh, I have one of those. What's the game name? What is the game name? Don't eat the cashier. I'm guessing that I'm the cashier and I do not want to be eaten. Well, whatever. As long as he's not a complete jerk who'll hit on me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. I didn't scream. I couldn't move. My brain feverishly tried to hide any category for this in its database. Hallucination? Psychosis? Too many energy drinks? A typical middle manager? The monster from my nightmare stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. Oh my goodness. The creature made a sound, not from a mouth. It had none. The sound emanated from deep within its bulk, hollow, profound, bone shaking. Oh, it's some sort of octopus with a tie, and its name is Bob. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indescribable and terrifying consumer of worlds, but you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. Can I just call you Bob for short? No. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. Somebody pinch me. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am ancient. For you are Bob. You just told me you were Bob. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patience is as limited as the salary I offer you. Rule number 1, you sell, no matter what, chicken, food for the mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from cursed souls, lottery tickets for extra limb raffles, discount rot, ritual foil, everything must be sold. Can I sell you? 'Cause you're creeping me out, Bob. He points directly at me with that creepy, slimy tentacle. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. I pinch myself but didn't wake up. Rule number 2. There's a lot of rules. I guess 2 rules ain't a lot of rules. Rule number 2, be polite to customers, ignore bald spots in werewolf fur, and watch out for drafts when ectoplasmic energetic entities are in the store. Okay, that sentence was a mouthful. What? But don't let them, is he yelling at me? Because everything is in capital letters. But don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. payment in existential dread or hair of the dead is not accepted. Many of them come here just to chat because they are idle and purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency anyway. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. That is true. A dead customer is not a good customer. Oh, okay. Now I could freak out, or I could just silently tremble with fear like some sort of coward. Or I could just say, "Excuse me, dear sir, you seem to have mentioned werewolves and ectoplasm." My voice is as polite as possible. I don't want to lose this job. I really need this job. Got bills to pay and rent. I managed to compress my primal screaming panic into a tight ball and shove it deep down, because that's healthy. Werewolves? And that's not to mention that you yourself are a giant meatball with tentacles. Darn you. I shall answer your question, curious, polite organism. I have a name. Werewolves and ectoplasmic entities are just a few examples of the many insignificant life forms that frequent this establishment. What unites them is that they are all slaves to consumption, just like your kind. As for my nature, I am your immediate supervisor and the guarantor of your future financial prosperity. I'm at a gas station for monsters. I got a job with Cthulhu for minimum wage. This is all you need to know. That really is all I need to know. I fear any more knowledge will surely drive me insane. Let's get this party started. Woo! For the first time, something resembling approval flickered across Bob's many-eyed face. A rare and unexpected display of the grains of wisdom that have not yet left the human species. Embrace your ignorance. Let it become your shield and a direct path to the status of human employee of the month. Did he just call me stupid? And what does the human employee of the month get? Like a bonus? A cash bonus of 25 cents. What are you? I should quit immediately. I understand that you human are already extremely excited about... I'm not excited about 25 cents. What am I going to do with 25 cents? I understand, human, that you are extremely excited about this 25 cents. But that's not all. You will also have access to the elite manager's restroom for one full work cycle. During its use, there is only a 7% chance that you will be transported to a dimension of endless pain, suffering, and unimaginable torment. I'm just not going to use the bathroom. I'm not going to drink anything. I'm not going to eat anything. I'm just not going to use the bathroom. Truly generous. He suddenly places a jar in front of me on the counter. I'm going to assume that's a tip jar. Game name also hi. Hi! The game name is Don't Eat the Cashier. I am the cashier and I wish not to be eaten. I assume that that's what this game is about, based on what it is called. And the last rule, remember, organism, this tip container must be filled with money by the end of your work cycle. And if it's not, the tips are for me, right? So whether or not people tip me, that's not for you to be concerned with. That's my tip jar. My tips go in here. You can't have them, Bob. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary rooms with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. I don't think I'm going to be alive for 2,510 years. I couldn't take my eyes off the fork, the potential tool of my eternal servitude. At this moment, my mind fully capitulated. I haven't watched your lives in some time. I haven't live streamed in a long time. Hey, Tori. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic artist. See, this is why I haven't streamed in a long time, because I can't read. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic architect squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I'm being threatened with a fork and eternal toilet cleaning. How could anyone clean anything with a fork? You could clean your plate with a fork. Hey, rave killer. The same will happen if you even think of escaping before the end of your work contract. My ocular sensorium perceives the subtlest of matters. It will detect you in any corner of this pitiful planetary sphere. Crap, I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. But if I get paid, then is it that bad of a trap? Do you understand organism? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I get it. Acceptable. Goodbye, organism. Good luck in your currency, acquisition, and button pressing. Why did I get to name myself if Bob never refers to me as my name? He just keeps calling me organism. Yes, I think I can handle this perfectly. Adequate. Your willingness to fulfill your work duties deserves my emotional approval. Human entity, you are acceptable. If you expect a monetary reward instead of an emotional one, you need to immediately reconsider your moral compass. Greed is a highly condemned trait for a human organism. This concludes the briefing, finally. Remain as polite an organism as you are. He didn't turn around as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted his entire mass in another direction with a soft gurgling sound as he waddled across the linoleum. I'm not used to seeing that word. Finally, he left me alone. The silence at the gas station was broken only by the hum of refrigerators containing juicy juices and the buzzing of the neon lamp above my head. I'm gonna save the game. Just in case. Just in case. I stood in the same spot as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in a sharp, uneven gasp. My hands were shaking. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horrors, stood still, proudly on the counter, empty. Okay, so what just happened? Option 1, I've gone insane. Not the first time that's happened, not the last time. Well, it won't be the last time. That's the most logical conclusion. Prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, a disrupted sleep schedule. My brain just malfunctioned. It happens. Yes, that's it. I'm going to wake up on my couch in my dingy rented apartment. I pinch myself again. Ouch! And nothing. I scanned the room once more. It smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real. And that meant everything he said. It was all true. Werewolves, vampires, tips the fork? A hysterical mix of laughter and a scream of terror welled up in my throat. But I held it back. I needed to get through this. I need to remain calm. What happened to the electricity? What happened to the electricity? Oh no. Don't tell me that's the first customer. Bells, what the heck? Okay, all up in my face. Just all up in my face. Crap, where the heck did this clown come from? It took great effort not to look away from those red eyes burning in the pitch black darkness. Is he amused? I think he's amused. Is he wondering if I'm tasty? I'm not. Bob didn't exactly give me any guarantees that I wouldn't get devoured at work. I better not. My brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. Oh, please don't eat me. I'm just a miserable, tasteless cashier. You can't just appear with the sound of a creepy... You can't just appear with the sound of a creepy piano, sir. My deepest apologies. Oh, I got hearts. He liked that. Oh, he looks less creepy now. I didn't mean to frighten you, my fair lady. Hey, Saren. You're right. There was far too much drama in that entrance. Does he have pink eye? I hope not, because that's highly contagious and I don't want it. It's been a while. It has been a while. What would you prefer for my next appearance? Triumphant fanfare and a cheering crowd? Or perhaps just enough accompaniment I don't know why I keep struggling to read, man. What would you prefer for my next appearance? Triumphant fanfare in a cheering crowd, or perhaps just enough accompaniment? I can't say that word. I give up. From the voices in your own head. Tell me. Honestly, I have no ideas. Can we proceed with the purchasing of goods? Is that so? An artist without imagination, is it? It's like a fish without fins, a bird without wings, and its establishment without lunatics. What? How did he know about my useless degree? I didn't tell anybody about that. I'll chalk that up to your exhaustion. The purchasing of goods. Ah, yes, that's why I'm here. Another corner of the universe. Amazingly, people live here too, and they trade as well. Yet, well, there's nothing to be surprised of if you think about it. I expected something more interesting, at least a world of lizards and ancient descendants from Hyperborea battling them. I don't know what this dude's talking about. My goodness, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. And it seems he's in the mood for a chat. But I don't want to chat. So, what is a beautiful, charming lady like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Okay, he called me beautiful, so maybe we can chat. I'm a sucker for compliments. Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a charming lady as you? Oh wait, where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely lady. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King. A title I plan to pass from me to myself for the coming centuries. Oh, his name is Darren? Is that how you say Darren. However, my mortal mother called me Darren. Maybe it's Darren. Not really sure. Now, may I have your hand? Sorry, my mother told me not to offer my hand to strangers or any other parts of me, sir. Oh, your highness. He burst into genuine booming laughter. On top of that, he may have pink eye, and I don't want to catch that. Your mother was truly a wise woman. You didn't know her. A masterful stroke of self-preservation. I haven't been rebuffed so delightfully in, well, at least a century. Others prefer to use enchanted swords and pitchforks. Well, I don't want to hurt you or anything. I just don't want you to touch me or be around me. What is the visual novel called? It's called Don't Eat the Cashier. Or is it called Please Don't Eat the Cashier? No, it's called Don't Eat the Cashier. And it has like an exclamation point at the end, so it's like yelling at you like, don't eat the cashier! Okay, they forget that words can wound too, but perhaps I can still melt your heart. I have an eternity for that, literally. May I know your name? I mean, I guess I could tell this stranger my name. My name is Key, sir, and that's all you're gonna get from me. Ah, my dear Key, you are so polite and alive. He seems to savor my name. It sends shivers down my spine. And that politeness again, as dry and bland as the rations I give my soldiers, the most creaky of all the decrees I've signed. And I've signed decrees that required people to weave ropes from sand just for fun, mostly mine. Polite people never risk anything, no friends, no enemies. How is that interesting? Imagine how wonderful it would be if we became enemies. Those would be the most interesting few seconds of your life. This dude's weird, man. Next suitor. Where's the next suitor? Or friends. Then it would be a delightful eternity. Honestly, I'm ready to become... No, I'm not. No, offer him a friendly pinky finger? I don't even know how to respond to this. Is this a friendship custom? I suppose. How charming and how fortunate that I have a pinky too. He extends his hand, the creature and I seal our friendship pact with our pinkies. He seems pleased and doesn't plan to turn me into a toad or something like that. I feel like my brain is turning to jelly. And I don't understand when we'll finally get to the point. We've been talking for 5 minutes, but it feels like an eternity. I'm confused, man. I'm a cashier. Isn't he supposed to like buy something? I'm supposed to sell him something, right? All he did was come in here and start risen me up. Is that the word? And I've got to somehow squeeze a tip out of this guy and not lose my mind. Two utterly impossible tasks when dealing with a regular person, let alone another cosmic entity. He's buttering us up for something. Well, he ain't getting no free stuff. Nothing is free in this world. So let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Is it to give me tips? Finally. It's completely unknown to me. Oh, for crying out loud, leave. Just please leave. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shack except for you, so I'm buying your time. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Let's not. I ain't that hungry. I'd rather starve. Oh no. No. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. Please don't. Oh. I said please don't. Why'd he do that? I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half of my gas station to a... Half of my gas... It's not my gas station. I don't own this place. I just work here. To a radioactive dump. Or a radioactive dump to my gas station? And the jar is gone. My freaking jar. That tip jar was my everything. Didn't have any tips in it, but it was still my jar. And it was gonna have tips in it. Eventually. That was the hope. Put it back the way it was in the jar. You really don't like change, do you? But life is ever changing. Life is not a stone, my dear. Life is water. But since you don't like this current, so be it. Let me find us something less populated with mutants. Just take me back home, man. I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands make me melancholic because all the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. Oh my goodness, this dude keeps teleporting me all over the place. I just want to go back to the gas station. You're absolutely right, Sarah, and it is called Don't Eat the Cashier. You're absolutely right. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. It feels like I've been flushed twice through an interdimensional toilet. I clear my throat. Oh goodness, I really had to clear my throat. Seems like I'm sitting at a table. This dude just forced me into a date. I don't like this. Much better, wouldn't you agree? No, I don't agree. Couldn't be better. Maybe? I adore your decisiveness and drive. I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming. But it'd be better without that frog with a human face. The frog notices me too. It lets out a sad croak and then looks at me with an expression of deep existential despair. Say nothing about the frog with the human face. Just gonna ignore it. Darren seems to notice my discomfort anyway. His gaze follows mine until it too lands on the strange frog. Seems you've noticed my pal Lorray. I don't see any Lorray. Then I must be mistaken. He really is quite inconspicuous. Except when he tries to theoretically end it all to stop being a frog. Jumps into the predator's mouth, leaps from great heights. At least for a frog, but he never succeeds. The universe finds his suffering far too amusing because the universe of this world is mine. Is me. I forget how to read sometimes. So dinner, I'm sure you must be starving. I told you, I don't want to eat. I just want to go home. I'm okay with not eating. Traveling between realities must be exhausting. And whose fault is that? You're the one that made me travel between realities. I don't want to eat whatever that is. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? What kind of meat? I'd like to know what kind of meat it is. And next to the meat, a purple soup. I don't even like soup. Possibly made from a less fortunate cashier? Whether the food is poison or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too. So I'll pick up a fork from the table. And this is the most delicious thing oh my goodness, I ate it. Ugh. This is the most delicious thing I ever tasted. It's 100 times better than these cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Oh my goodness, my characters just eat anything, huh? Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. It really should. It seems you enjoy our cuisine. My chefs have always managed to cook well on those occasions when I noticed it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner, at least not for the first half hour after the meal. Why are you doing all this? The dinner, the teleports. Why? What a delightfully pointless question, even by my standard. How is it pointless? I do it because I can. I do it because the alternative is crushing, gray, predictable boredom. Boredom. I was just bored. So we teleported between realities and ate purple soup. I brought you here, Key, because for the first time in a very, very, very long time, you are not boring. So what happens if I'm boring? Do you eat me? If I'm boring, do I end up on the plate? Because you fear me less than my subjects do, and you can hold a meaningful, albeit questionable conversation, unlike my subjects. Believe me when your interlocutor's mind is as sturdy as wet paper, all the joy of conversation quickly evaporates. I'm just going to stay silent. I'm not going to, maybe because you keep saying, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to stay silent. I'm not meaningfully chewing on the mysteriously sourced meat that I hope ain't human or people or monster or whatever. Best not to delve into this. I hope it's just beef. Hi! I poke at the food with my fork and watch the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy. We're under heavy narcotics, but I'm not. What's the name of this game? The name of this game is Don't Eat the Cashier. What's your favorite animal? Don't ask silly questions. Return to eating. Because I'm over this weirdo. I really am. Fewer words, fewer chances of catching a deadly magic projectile or something worse. By the way, how does the meat taste? Is the human flesh tender enough? See, this is why I didn't want to eat the food, but they didn't give me the option. They did not give me the option. They made me eat the food. And you know what? He's a clown. He's a clown, so he probably joking around, right? Because clowns, they're funny. They tell jokes. He's so... Is the human flesh tender? It's not human flesh. He's joking. He's joking. My fork freezes halfway. He's joking. He's clearly joking. Swallow with difficulty. Yes, thank you. Quite tender. Because I don't think vomiting is going to earn me any points with him. So let's just... And while most ladies would faint or have a fit or vomit, you mind your manners. Charming. I try to be. I try to be. But don't worry, my little polite marble statue. It's just venison, oh thank goodness. As far as I can tell by taste, not very intelligent. See? It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in. Definitely not. Yep, it's definitely not Timmy. It could never be Timmy. I've personally issued several decrees related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its prohibition, but that's beside the point. I would never eat people. Okay, maybe this guy is not so bad, maybe? I rarely have visitors. And I'd like to tell you about other interesting guests. After all, it's the most fascinating thing I can share with you. The most fascinating thing you can share with me is tips in my tip jar. But I don't have my tip jar with me because you teleported me here. For a place where mushrooms with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. They detach from the gnarled trees, rising up from the ground like black ink and spread across the wall. Dancing and intertwining, they prepare to perform at their master's whim. Behold this incredibly crooked castle, my dear. Crooked to the point of absurdity. Sadly, in reality, its curves look far more aesthetic, but give the creator some leeway for expressiveness. Many brave and not-so-bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle, so many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked being distracted from its important duties. Terribly important duties, like having long, deep conversations with its own reflection or concocting recipes with raisins. I'm just gonna listen silently. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. He made some people believe they were pigeons and others that they were grains. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon and both suns would get envious and want to take them away, and he demanded they seal the gaps in the doors as well. He locked wizards who came to him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented a kettle that could boil everything except water. Did they eventually invent the kettle? Invented? Oh, they did much more. After 11 years of failed prototypes, a few explosions and chemicals running away on their own legs, they succeeded. The kettle could boil even bright memories, but not water. Water could instantly freeze, explode, and file for divorce. This clown is very weird. I immediately rewarded them with a new invention idea, a cup with a sealed top and without a bottom. Let's see how they handle that. But I digress. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom, the first hero, Sir Loray, the righteous, in all his clanging self-important glory, he turned him into a frog. He took a need to rest briefly because the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's loyal subjects too. By the way, where did he even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the color of suspenders for their suspenders or laminating their fate. I cherished them in the imperfection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most restless of them. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descended into the Grotto of Despair, the Grotto of Tentacles. Imagine the most sinister name you can conjure. This is a long story, Darren. The Grotto of Despair sounds about right. Indeed, it's a place where one can so wonderfully despair. Let's not get sidetracked. Into the Grotto of Despair, our hero descended to retrieve an artifact capable of defeating the Monster King. The Ring of Incredible Power, a bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you it looks more aesthetic in real life. However, the brave knight didn't know that the incredible power of the ring lay in its 440 pounds weight. That was its only magical property. The only incredible thing about this ring was its incredibly stupidity and uselessness. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy paperweight and the sudden crushing truth that he should have become a baker instead of a hero just to get some sleep. Well, it broke his poor, noble mind. Not that his mind was ever intended for serious burdens. Hey, I watch you on YouTube. Hey, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you know that I have a YouTube. Not everybody knows that. Nod meaningfully, waiting for him to continue. So, the knight perished. But then along came Elmer Eagle Eye. They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. An archer of legendary skill who tried to kill me with a precise shot constantly during breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devising a plan to get rid of him. The audacity! I hate just killing them. Turning them into madmen is much more fun. And I bestowed a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves, So naturally, the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in a loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was a villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. Now he's my royal huntsman. The dwarf march is replaced with a lively elven she-shanty. And let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guarantee of non-dismemberment. A happy ending, right? For me, absolutely. I've never had such a good hunter in my life. I never quite figured out where he gets all those species of animals. But no matter. And finally, the witch. In a classic giant hat under which you could easily fit another witch. She tried a different approach, seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse, a fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats or people, especially when both come hand in hand. And those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time, a person who doesn't even trust their own pants, certainly doesn't earn the trust of His Highness. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays. But back to hats. This dude is all over the place. Hats don't evoke any particular feelings in me. No love, no hate, not even mild annoyance, no. Really? I suggest you quickly develop a strong opinion about them. They say it's highly entertaining hobby and useless like any good hobby. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intentions, jingling with all her concealed weapons. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon. And you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written, so I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Key. What punishment befits her? What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? I don't want to be part of this. Does it matter what I choose? Everything here follows his whims anyway. Well, as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive, I guess. Maybe I should just entertain him. Darn, what should I do? Man, turn her into a hat, a small one. Okay, he liked that. The one who lived by a big hat shall become a small hat. The irony is so absurd, it's beautiful. So be it. Let her be a small cap of eternal regret. She tried to get to my head and now she can barely cover it. A brilliant sentence. I suppose that's the end of this tale, this very long tale. Indeed, it was a delightful story. It was a long story that just never ended. You just kept going, Darren. I have hundreds more. Don't tell me anymore. Of course, but these were the first that came to hand. The shadows finally dissolved into nothingness. I just turned a living being into I didn't turn the living being into the hat. He turned her into a hat. I had nothing to do with it. He was going to do something to her either way. It's not my fault. I refuse to take responsibility for that. Or rather became the catalyst for it. Oh, I guess I became the catalyst for it. I wonder what kind of nightmares are warranted in such a case. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up, finally. I shall send you back, Key. Please do. Please do. Send me back and just never visit me again. I rise from the chair. I squeeze my eyes shut. The light is blinding even with my eyes closed. So unusual after all the darkness. The jar is empty. The jar is empty! That jerk didn't leave. After everything I did, I played along with his shenanigans. The jar is empty. That jerk didn't leave me any tips. He could turn a witch into a hat, but he couldn't leave me a little bit of change. The jar is empty. The jerk didn't leave me any tips. He nearly drove me crazy and didn't even leave money. Oh my goodness. Oh my, Bob. Bob, please understand, it's not my fault. A clown came in, he transported me somewhere, he turned a witch into a hat, he told me a long, boring story that I did not care for, and he ain't leave me any tips. Greetings, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction. Failed. Report immediately how this happened, organism. I don't know. The clown came in. The client tried to. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know how to deal with the mentally ill. No matter. Now, training in a specialty like psychiatrist is also part of your duties, and this list will keep growing. Continue working. I leave in extreme displeasure with you. Yeah, well, I don't like you either, Bob. And I hasten to remind you of the threat of punishment again. You don't have many chances left to fill this jar before the end of your wake cycle. Whatever, Bob. Goodbye, Mr. Manager. Your tentacles shine particularly beautiful at this time of day. Does he like compliments? Don't even try to use private flattery to distract me from your blatant incompetence. Crap, I really thought that would work. The aesthetic quality of my appendages has no bearing on your inability to extract money from a paying client. I guess he don't care for compliments. However, it is noted, okay. He said all that, but he still really appreciated that I complimented him. You're gonna love the next customer. There's an NPC in there that's so funny. Oh, let me save this then. Do I want to? I'll save under a new save. What is this even about? I really don't know. I'm at a gas station, and that's all I know. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm just as lost as you. He slaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob's rhythmic wet slaps fade away, a deep silence descends on the station. You work for your extremely attractive boss, Bob? Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description. Honestly, right about now, I prefer Bob over the clown. One moment, I'm in a surreal forest, dining on purple goo with a mad clown. The next moment, I'm being scolded by a multi-eyed tentacle monster named Bob. Maybe these are all just my deathbed hallucinations. I'm going insane. Some part of me enjoys these mad adventures. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. And I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my contemplation, terrifying sounds emanate from my boss's office. Unfair bills, unacceptably large numbers. Of course, what else could upset him so much if not that? You know what? I also am upset about unfair bills and unlarge numbers. Steps. Another visitor. This one decided to come in through the door for a change, which I greatly appreciate. What is that stuff dripping? What is that stuff dripping? Maybe it's oil. This is a gas station. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. Oh, okay. He's not just unwell. He looks like heck. Literally, all the skin on the left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. Is he a zombie? I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. How's life, sir? Frickin' awesome, like a fairy tale. Thanks for asking. He would dramatically light a cigarette and stare into the void right now, but it seems he doesn't have the strength for that anymore. But he clearly wants to. I do too, even considering that I don't smoke. Smoking is bad. This profession is going to drive me crazy one day. I feel like I'm already there. Hey, Trix. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man with half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. Well, you can't have mine. From the looks of it, you seem to have some on your sleeve. Can you use that? He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now they will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again, briefly to clear his throat. Let me see what we have here. Maybe we sell blood. Yeah, good choice, babe. This is a step to the storage. You can't have my blood. I'm just going to see if we got like some blood packs lying around. Just in case. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some blood. Okay. What is going on here? He was so calm before, and now he's like angry and aggressive, and I don't like it. Okay, so out of these three options, which one should I pick? I don't know. I guess I'll go with the second one and go find him some darn blood. A strange pressure builds in my head, and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind to find him some darn blood. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible, or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Now I could scream to Bob, where's the blood? I could go to the food for mouth. Go check the section. Supplies for self-propelling gearbox. Foaming body. I think it's going to be food for mouth. I think that's where it's going to be. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs plowed up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Let's see. Dense energy blocks for chewing. Infused nutrition flows. Food afraid of heat. I'm going to go with infused nutritional flows and hope it's right. Here are endless shelves of drinks. Next to Coca-Cola are bottles labeled Liquid Regret in primordial broth, now with nucleotides. Cans labeled Braspy, Vodka, Solneco. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of craps and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hematogen in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. I go back. I hear knocking. Oh no. Oh no. I don't like this screen because there's a lot of darkness happening, and I feel like I'm about to be jump scared. They're setting me up for a jump scare, and I hate jump scares. I'm just going to start squinting my eyes and hope I don't get jump scared. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on a laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Crap. I don't freaking food afraid of heat. The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizza are Gremlin Cyro capsules, and among the buckets of ice cream you can find flavors like Minty Tritium and Liquid Family. Oh my goodness. A huge freezer chamber. Oh my goodness, where's the blood? Okay, let's see. Matter of lesser life forms? Spare parts of human organisms? Product of animal fun. I'm gonna go with matter of lesser life forms, I guess. You think it's spare parts? Spare parts of human organisms? Okay, I'm gonna go with that, and if it's wrong, I'm gonna blame you. I'm your eye doctor. If I mess up, it's all on you. This section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. Glass jars filled with murky liquids sit on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that reads Kevin. Oh, wait. Is this the? Wait. Is this? Did I find the blood? Wait. Hold. Take blood, a human organism, Kevin. Taste of unfulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations. Take blood of human organism, homeless. High content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. Take blood of human organism, Michael. Taste of efficient. So I found the blood, but I don't know which one to take. All right, I'm your eye doctor. You were right. You get different results depending on who you pick. Oh, okay. Okay, let me think. I'm gonna go with the second one. Blood of a human organism, homeless, high content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. I'm gonna go with that one. The jar is sealed, but my eyes water from the smell of alcohol. Just what a cool guy in a leather jacket needs. May the Lord help him not to go blind when he drinks it. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You already? His voice carries genuine surprise and clear relief. Well, good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. I would have been if it wasn't for I'm just your eye doctor, because I was about to pick the wrong decision again. I know I was. He downs the contents in a couple of big, frantic gulps. The whole liter practically disappears in seconds. A mad grin spreads across his face. I start to worry for a moment that he'll smash the jar against his head or mine, but thankfully he just whistles and slams it against the table. This is some revitalizing crap. I just drank some darn liquid hangover, alcohol, amphetamines, cleansing fluid. Like the dude has been chugging pure alcohol by liters for years. He clearly lived his best life. He might have lived longer if he hadn't decided that drinking makes him invulnerable to the cold. He shakes his head sympathetically. I don't know where you got this. I got it from the storage. But it was the best thing I ever drunk in my life. That probably doesn't speak well for your life. He chuckles cheerfully. My life is just one big mess. Nothing to be proud of, nothing to be ashamed of, just like many others. Honestly, me working here at this gas station, running into monsters like you, like, my life ain't so great either. You might say my life is also one big mess. Well, that definitely doesn't apply to me, right? Nobody has ever praised me like this in my life. I don't even know what to think. Cool that you found human blood. Good job. You're sharp. Glad to please you, sir, and glad you no longer want to eat me. Aha, with that approach to business, you'll go far, babe. I'm going to wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I don't think he put any money in the jar yet. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me yet. Oh, wow. Okay, he looks way better. Look at him with his full face. And he's clean. Okay. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And they don't usually put money until the end of their story. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you, Den. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. I wasn't even thinking about contacting the werewolves. I'm David, by the way. A vampire. You're a vampire? As you may have guessed already. I didn't guess you were a vampire. I thought you were a zombie. How would I know that you're a vampire? How was I to guess that just because you wanted blood? I thought you was a zombie. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance. Especially that part about the walnut. Nice to meet you, Key. Okay, Key. I knew a Key once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. I'm not that one. She was a good girl until she got packed up. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. No kidneys for you. They're all mine. Wow, I don't know how I'll survive this. Probably harder to survive this than working in this place. He struck a nerve. No offense, but I think I know every place in this city where you can buy a kidney. It's doubly crappy that I don't need them anymore, unless I want to sell them too. Now I have a vampire here and he's regenerating. Wonderful! The main thing is to not accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Let's see. Are you sure you're not a vampire? Not a Cupid Cobra. They drink blood too. Since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Don't you guys prefer Cobra anymore? Thanks for not eating me. Maybe I should joke around with him. Since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Don't you guys prefer capes and ruffles anymore? I think he'll like that. Ruffles? What the heck is that? Is he offended? I'm no what even is that? Some French insult? It was just a joke, man. He didn't like it. His expression is as if I suggested he wear a maid's outfit. He'll defend that worn leather monstrosity at the cost of his life. That's obvious. It was just a joke, David. It ain't that serious, man. Get over it. Ruffles are not just a piece of clothing. They're a concentrated strike right at the core of his cool vampire persona. I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't know. I don't wear any ruffles. I'm just 24 years old. Okay, dang. And how long have you been 24 years old? Very freaking funny. It's been like 24 years. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to get a tip from this dude. I'm picking all the wrong answers. And all these 24 years, I haven't worn any ruffles, and I'm not going to ever. Okay, don't wear the ruffles. I told one joke about him wearing ruffles, and he won't let it go. I'm not some darn Prince Louis or whatever. It's painful to watch how many people limit themselves and deny themselves simple human happiness, vampire happiness. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. I don't think David liked me very much. And that's fine, because I don't like him very much, so whatever. I don't care. So we even. He don't like me, and I don't like him. Darn mutts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely. And does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Point at the wound. Let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You what? Okay, he liked that. You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. Here comes the beautiful sprite. It's just a couple of stretches and a little piece of butt that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Let's see. If you don't let yourself be treated, my boss will lock us both in a dimension of horror where we'll be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years, so let me treat you. Really? And how am I supposed to clean with a fork? Exactly. And why such a ridiculous amount of time? Is there that much cosmic crap in there? His voice carries a clear mockery. He's about to say something even more sarcastic when suddenly Bob has returned to his accounts. The sound he makes still fill my soul with dread. Probably not just mine. Finally, the forks and toilets break through the last layer of his defenses. Alright, I spent my whole life in complete crap. I don't want to spend the next 2 millennia there too. Darn you, go ahead. Get your band-aids with Dr. Chocula or whatever you're selling. David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles into a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes for some reason. Cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. He don't look that bad. It's just a little stretch. It's just a little stretch. It's not that bad. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. If you press H on your keyboard, you can hide the... I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Oh, wait. That wasn't H. I have a mouse that has like the wheelie thing, and I decided to try to press it, and it hid the text box. Because I know that sometimes that works when you play these types of games, when you click the wheelie thing on your mouse. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items: silver, tweezers, vials of thick, glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course an instruction manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you are dealing with a zombie, ask your alternatively living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. David is not a zombie. What if he is a zombie though? Alternatively living subject, have you ever wanted to eat someone's brain? Because what if he is a zombie? What if he's lying? What if he's not a vampire? What subject? I'm not, not a subject. It seems I've offended his vampire feelings. Okay, I don't know, man. I was just thinking, what if he wasn't a vampire? What if he was a zombie? I had to double check. He lets out an annoyed sigh. For the umpteenth time today. Man, I'm not winning any David points. Your brain, definitely not. Was that a joke about me being dumb? I am, by the way, very smart, and I have a very tasty... I don't think that's what I should say at all. What about someone else's? I'm not... For crying out loud, what kind of question is that? I'm not attracted to other people's brains, not at all. Okay, so you're not a zombie. Do you remember Dracula eating brains? No. Did he rise from his coffin and say, what a lovely evening, I think I'll go munch on some brains? Stop looking at me like that. I'm not a darn zombie. I'm a vampire, not even a chupacabra, a chupacabra. I feel like I kept saying that word wrong over and over again, and that not once did I say it right. I tried to say it right, but I had to give up eventually because I couldn't pronounce it. Zombies are stupid. They can't even talk. They just grunt and groan. I don't get why that's not in your necrotherapist guide. Alright, neither of us is a zombie, at least not yet. Let's return to the treatment. You got so close to saying it right the second time. I would do a backflip out of joy right now if I didn't have a piece of cloth sticking out of my ankle. I still glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up, or if he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something out of the Stone Age, suggest that he could have. The guy has a killer's gaze. You see someone like him in Ollie? And in Ollie, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kinds of wounds could werewolves leave? It's simple. You've got lacerations, claws, teeth, and a bit of saliva, possibly very contagious. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego, add at the end. Wounds from a real rabid beast, buddy. I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor. But I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He's a true gladiator, having survived a battle of rabid beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. Now all that's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar and suddenly he grabs my hand. Do something wrong and I'll rip your tonsils out through your butt. Okay. You okay. Okay. Say in a calm, icy tone, allow me to do my job, sir. I will be extremely careful. The phrase of any faceless representative of the service sector, my perfect shield against the surrounding world and the rude vampires that inhabit it. Watch yourself, you won't get a second chance. We'll see about that. I'm going to save the game. I'll get all the chances I want. No, not my vampire doctor's license. I apply this black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound and the ear starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your SWID manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. I'm gonna be more careful. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but the relief is starting to wash over him. He liked that, okay. Naturally, no thank yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my butt every 5 seconds, so I'll take that as a win. I'm gonna finish my work in silence. I think he'd appreciate that. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? Because it's my job? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. Sometimes I just gotta talk slower and try my best to pronounce the word, and then I pronounce it correctly. He's driving me crazy, even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. I just want to help. Truth, you're an angel of mercy from the dirty gas station. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. Let's just say I don't think I should say that. I can't watch someone suffer. Wow, bless your noble heart. He shifts awkwardly. Clearly he's uncomfortable and unaccustomed to being the object of compassion. So he immediately hides behind yet another sarcastic comment. Is this a spicy game? I want to say it's probably not. I don't think it is. Nothing spicy has happened. This is the most spiciest thing that's happened so far. Just this dude without a shirt. That's the spiciest. This is the spiciest as it has gotten so far. But I don't think it's gonna get spicier. But I've also never played it before. But what can I do? I feel sorry for every little kitten on the street. Sometimes I even feel sorry for especially large, nasty, troublesome kittens. It must be tough living with someone like that, huh? I bet you have 40 cats living in your apartment and all of them are strays. David reads me like an open book. It's amazing that he can even read at all. Hopefully I don't say that part out loud. Most of the time, help isn't altruistic. People always want something in return. Money, a favor, for you to take them off the hook. I do want money in return. I want tips in my tip jar, man. If I don't get tips in my tip jar, man, Bob's gonna be upset. And I don't want to upset Bob. Helping people for no reason, it's like throwing crap against the wind. Alright, moving on. Screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. There's nothing going on in my head, and there's nothing going on in my tip jar. So if you could please just put some coins in there, it'd be greatly appreciated, David. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't scare off this rare exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. He probably is. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter, standing next to my tip jar. So the client is fed, clean, and healed, and yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the tip jar is lacking. Is this going to be the second guy of the 9 who skips out on the tip? It's going to end badly. Bob said the bottom shouldn't be visible. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David's deep in thought in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Man, David, I thought we was chill. I helped you out. I healed you. I gave you blood, man. Oh boy. Can I do anything else for you, sir? This seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you could do something. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder by regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome. Or does he mean my lack of a criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. Okay, oh boy, what kind of superpowers do vampires have, David? A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. I've never watched Twilight. I've heard about Twilight, never watched it. Don't want to watch it. What game is this perchance? This is perchance Don't Eat the Cashier. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones. Dr. I'm definitely saying that word, Morale couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make your work for them for eternity, literally. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode, literally, just a glance. I hope you're not one of them, David. Please don't make my head explode. But not all of us are such wicked jerks. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trough. But some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Can vampires open beer cans with their minds? That's a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it. Oh, they sure can, but they can't drink beer afterwards. When I was just recently turned about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. And what happened? I threw up further than I could see, puking out blood and meatballs, left some graffiti and a bit of pasta on the wall. You know, David, I'm not a fan of spaghetti either. I'm not a vampire, but I am not a fan of spaghetti. The guy who cleaned it up probably thought a whole spaghetti monster exploded in that alley. Mamma mia, no more pasta, pizza, no delicious food. That's terrible, but I don't even like spaghetti. I'm still going to pick this option, though. You got it, exactly. I miss pizza. My buddy used to say you always have to sacrifice something. In our case, it's pizza. Sounds silly, of course, but in reality, it sucks. Still, you get used to it over time. I love your vids. Aw, thank you. I'm glad that you do. I can see he's lying. David lives in a spaghetti-less heck. What kind of monster would doom someone to that? You can still order food delivery, by the way. Just this time, eat the delivery guy. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. He is full of himself. And which of these do you have? I've got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You can party all night long. You can doot all night long. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. MCSM. What's MCSM? MCSM. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Minecraft. Minecraft story mode. Oh, okay. I've never played Minecraft. I mean, I sort of rarely. I played Minecraft for like a minute, maybe, a while ago. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat pee a block away. I don't want to hear what rats are up to. Okay, it's just an idiom. You can ignore it if you want, but those rats are gonna pee. All vampires would go insane if that was true. Do I look like a madman? No. That clown that I met before you, he looked like a madman. He was a madman. Politely, I decide to stay silent, he continues. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. Are you sure the last one is due to your vampirism and not just because they're scared you'll beat them up? David lets out a sharp, raspy laugh. You're right. Most law-abiding citizens avoid me by 100 miles. It's a working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a subtle approach, you know? The word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone crapless, they give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realize they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connections and butt-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion aren't the best foundations for a strong friendship. David, he is deep. He is deep. He has a lot going on with him. David, you're a creature stuck in a web of artificial connections and butt-related threats. Your whole life is based on lies. Even if it's based on my butt, I don't care. If you're a bloodsucker, you'll live like this in no other way. In this snake pit, you won't make true friends. Vampires don't live in one big beautiful house like in Twilight. They're like cowboys in the Wild West, constantly cutting and shooting each other and blowing up houses. Blowing up houses? Why that part? David mentioned Twilight again. Oh my goodness. Don't think I'm whining. It's actually great. It keeps you on your toes. You'll get used to it once you adjust. I'd rather live in a big vampire house in happiness, love, and harmony. This world doesn't run on love. Well, it should. He shakes his head ruefully. That doesn't happen. Nope, no vampire dormitories. David says this sympathetically. It's how people usually talk when they're trying to convince themselves. I'm sure deep down he dreams of a happy vampire family. And maybe I can give that to him. I don't know. Maybe David don't like me like that. I don't know. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Back to your question, ask him about something else. David looks at me expectantly. Oh goodness, there's like so many questions I can ask him. Why did you watch Twilight? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. Dude, it's okay if you watched it. I never watched it, but like there's nothing wrong with you if you watched it and liked it. That's perfectly fine. I hold a dramatic pause. I've heard good things about it and bad things. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then the ceiling, anywhere but at me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh, filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, darn it, all right, I watched everything. Was that so difficult, David? Was that so difficult to admit? All Twilight movies watched, The Lost Boys, Interview with the Vampire, Blade. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics like, don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know, hidden in all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullcrap, but you still liked the movies, didn't you? I read legends, searched for info online. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away. But sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies, one or the other. Hey, Name! Did I say that right? Name? Name? Name. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. You still haven't told me if you sparkle like Edward Cullen in the sun. He takes a deep, ragged breath. No, we don't sparkle. Want to know what happens if I step into the sun? I catch fire in the sun, as if someone poured gasoline on me and lit a match. Do you want to know what that smells like? Like fried chicken. I love fried chicken. It's a nasty, excruciating final death. Very brutal. Imagine the smell and slowly lick your lips. Hot men. Oh, he did not like that. Oh, he really didn't like that. What the heck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. You mentioned fried chicken. I'm so sorry. David has clearly dealt with violence, drugs, and monsters, but a cashier craving it's not that I'm craving fried vampire. I'm craving fried chicken because you mentioned fried chicken, David. It's not what you think. Craving fried chicken. A cashier craving fried chicken is clearly too much for him. Why is he still looking at me like that? It was just a joke, man. I've seen a lot of crap in my life, but this is the first time I've seen anything like this. Oh, man. We are not getting that tip. Why would you say that? We are going to get the tip. I just said one bad thing. I should still get the tip. Do you have some kind of necro barbecue fetish? No, don't answer me. I don't want to know. I'll just pretend I didn't hear anything. Like, David needs to let that go. It was just one thing. And I didn't even mean it. It was just a joke. We are all laughing at the funny joke. Do you upload on YouTube? Your videos are so funny. I do upload. Chances are, after I end this stream, I'll upload it on YouTube, probably later, tomorrow or something. David looks at me expectantly. Oh boy. What weaknesses will I have? Well, no more tanning, no reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier depending on the situation. A steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Who's this fine man? This is David. He is a vampire. What is this name? What's the game name? It is Don't Eat the Cashier. It is free. I believe the game is completed and it is on itch.io. And it's free. It's free. I don't know why I'm shouting it. I'm just happy that it's free. I just think that's awesome. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. He keeps mentioning werewolves. Is there going to be a werewolf in this game? Am I going to like the werewolf if there is a werewolf? Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. David looks at me expectantly. And who were you before the bite? He opens his mouth, ready to tell me off or mention something about butts again, but stops himself. Probably his thank you sealed our fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's probably not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was a nobody. That's not true, David. You were always a somebody. I was just surviving as everything went to heck, unlike all those jerks born with a silver spoon up their butts. You ever see those happy American families in TV commercials? They sit at the table with a bowl of salads smiling like idiots, and they always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. David, if it makes you feel any better, I don't have a dog either. And I don't even like salad, unless it's seafood salad. Or maybe chicken salad. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was a smack on the head. Oh, he was abusive. He did teach me how to shoot properly, though. Did you shoot him? I left my family dump early. It's really dumb. But I thought I'd start a band and become a rock star. But you didn't. You became a vampire. But as they say, wish in one hand, poop in the other. See which one fills up faster. At first, I worked with whatever... Oh, excuse me. Goodness. At first, I worked wherever I could, then found some guys to do some shady stuff with. There aren't many ways to make a living in Los Angeles area. Can't can't exactly work the cash register, right? David jabs again, but without malice. The antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes, but it hasn't affected me yet. I wonder why. Hey, working the cash register isn't so bad. It would be even better without customers like you. Oh, wow, I'm not going to say that. That would just be mean. I don't think I should say that. Yeah, being a gangster would be cool. Doing gangster things, riding motorcycles. You know what? I'm going to make no comment because I feel like both of these things aren't... I make no comment. That's it. That's the whole story. What about you? Oh, Lord. This is my chance to make up something cool. Or just tell it like it is. I have a single parent family and an art degree. No dog. No money. He listens to how I ended up in this dump, about my job search and everything else. I tell him my life story. I didn't sell drugs and ollies, but it seems we still find some common ground. Got it. You're not in your element. David truly understands. Neither he nor I wanted to end up where we are. Neither of us knows what to do next in this crazy cold world. And we both love cheap noodles, but he can't eat them anymore. I win. You lose, David. You must be tired of those draw me requests, huh? I would draw you. Oh, like a French girl? It's a Titanic reference. He tries to look nonchalant, but his eyes show he's interested. Go ahead. I love beautiful doodles. Do I really get to draw them? He says the word doodles with such strange tenderness that it sounds more like a compliment than an insult. I'll pick up a pencil? I'm about to draw him? Draw him as he is. Oh, that's a good sketch. I'm a good artist. Look at me. Wow, what a face. I almost forgot what I looked like. Bags under my eyes like a junkie. Silence hangs in the air while David examines the drawing. The beautiful drawing of him. He clearly doesn't know how to... Darn, okay, Picasso wishes he could draw like this. He clearly doesn't know how to react to this unexpected little act of normalcy. Looks cool. It does, David. The last words are spoken in a barely audible, almost reverent whisper, unlike anything I've ever heard from him before. Two simple words said with all the sincerity this guy can muster. I could do something too. He can draw too? David takes the pencil from me and with deep concentration, almost sticking out his tongue, scribbles something. Is he gonna draw a stick figure? No, that's not a stick figure. That's a really good... Yo, David can draw too? A few minutes later, a drawing appears before me? I never would have thought this guy was capable of that. Wow. You draw better than me and I have an education. Ha, come on. It's nothing. I'm not much of an artist. I was into it a bit when I was a kid. Comics, all that stuff. Nothing serious. I take the drawing for myself. This is my drawing now. All right, where were we? David looks at me expectantly. I'm gonna save the game just in case. Gotta be careful. Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? Yeah, a lot of people think about that first. But it's a bad idea to leave a trail of bodies of people you were somehow connected to. And your head quickly fills with other things like, well, the fact that you're dead is forever. So after you'd been turned, you didn't find everyone who bullied you in school and beat them up? I usually beat them up right at school. Ah, right. You might think I was some kind of bully constantly pulling pranks, but I was actually quiet in class. Just messing around at the back of the class like an invisible man. Until some jerk started picking on me once I smashed a globe over a guy's head because he mocked my sneakers. I mean, I don't know if the punishment fits the crime. Like, he shouldn't have mocked your sneakers, but I don't know if smashing a globe over his head was the right thing to do. As if wearing clothes from Walmart made me worse than them. Walmart clothes does not make you worse than anybody. There's nothing wrong with Walmart clothes. Good thing we don't have globes here. And if they sell clothes at Dollar Tree, I don't think they do. But if they do or did, then that would be fine too. David looks at me expectantly. A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire. Who vamped you? He doesn't answer right away, just furrows his brows. Several long minutes pass in silence. Some old stinking jerk. A lot is mixed into those 4 words. It's as if he both hates and mourns the old jerk. Probably that guy was a contender for Father of the Year. I wait for him to continue, but he remains silent. He looks like an angry cornered dog. It's unlikely he'll speak up on his own. And what did your old stinking jerk do? When I was in kindergarten, someone came out of the classroom with scissors in their head. I don't like the sound of that at all. That's horrible. In elementary, a kid was going to slam a chair on me. What the heck? I hope they didn't do it. You said was going to, so I'm going to assume that they got stopped. And I hope they did. How do you say your name? MD14Z0. In elementary, a kid kicked me in my stomach. Okay, elementary school just seems to suck, huh? I'm glad none of that happened to me in elementary school. I don't think it did. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything like that happening to me in elementary school. Some kid tries choking me on the. What are these stories, man? Hey, Amir. Elementary school sucks, huh? I was the moldy cheese. That's terrible. Moldy cheese. You're the villain. Why is everyone so aggressive in elementary school? I don't know, Lulu. I don't know. Wow. Okay. Wow. That just. I didn't expect so many stories about elementary school and all the bad things that happened. Being the bully, being bullied. Goodness gracious. Okay. And what did your old stinking jerk do? Don't call him that. Darn it. Don't you dare. Man, I got super distracted for a moment there. The rage in his eyes shifts to confusion just for a brief moment before he looks away. I mean, yeah, call him whatever you want, including an old stinking jerk. Immediately use your privilege. Old stinking jerk. An unexpected but genuine laugh escapes his lips. A rough, abrupt sound. Or come up with something more interesting. The bed bug? Count Chocula? Chocula. He laughs. He liked that. Yes, piece of crap. Count Von Count. There's a tone of feverish joy in his voice. As if he's finally indulging in something forbidden and very enjoyable. David remains silent for a few more seconds before speaking. That jerk suffered from power seizures. That's all there is to say about him. No amount of booze could erase what that darn villain did in my memory. I was cornered in a barrel in my 7th grade. I was in the 4th grade and forced to eat bugs. Well, darn it, I hope that they got the people that made you did that. I hope they got what was coming to them. I really do. I mean, I hope that they changed for the better, but I also hope that they got punished. I hope that justice was served. They did. My cousins beat them up. Oh, thank goodness for your cousins. That's what's up. So justice was immediately served. I love stories like that. I do hope that they learned their lesson though and became better people. One of them is in jail now. You know what? That's what I call a happy ending. Because if that's the type of, if that's how they're gonna act, if that's what they get into, then that's where they need to be. I suppose all old vampires are like that. I think for armed robbery, oh my goodness, that's pretty. I don't even know what to say. That story went in a direction that I didn't think. I didn't expect that story to get worse than what it did. What's the game called? It's called Don't Eat the Cashier. I suppose all old vampires are like that. It seems he won't tell me more about his vampire dad. David looks at me expectantly. Wrap it up with the questions. I'm ready to tell you my decision. Excellent. He leans in a little closer. I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna save the game just in case. Just in case. When suddenly we hear a wolf howling. I didn't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Listen up. Don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you'll feel incredibly crappy. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mud, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. Okay, I won't rat you out. The threat in his voice is completely lacking, mostly because his voice now comes from a very small, though angry bat. Werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. Oh, that's a really big werewolf. The creature steps inside. Oh, good evening, ma'am. He's so polite. A low rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? At him, ma'am? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. You want to pet me? Yes. He awkwardly shifts from paw to paw. That's very unexpected and of course flattering, ma'am. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of on duty, chasing, tracking the supernatural. I just want to pet you a little. He looks around nervously. All right, you can, but just a little. I still have important business. I reach out and pet him. The fur is warm, soft, and thick. I immediately feel a low vibration. The werewolf is quietly, silently purring. So this is what you talking about then when you kept saying there's going to be an NPC that's like really cool. Okay, cool NPC. I see what you was saying. I get it. I understand it now. At first, it's a barely noticeable movement. But then his short, fluffy tail starts to wag slowly but confidently from side to side. Oh, goodness. Uh-oh, lag, or is it just me? I have bad internet. It could be me. And for that, I do apologize. It's 100% me. I know it is. I have bad internet. I try to power through, but it's just not that good. I can't promise it'll get better. It'll probably get worse. He's a good boy, a very, very big but good boy. He deserves praise. I'm the Princess Mononoke of this gas station. Although David doesn't seem thrilled, I pull my hand back. Ahem. Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since I've been... Anyway, thank you. Look at David. I didn't even see David. I didn't see him at first. I didn't notice him in his little bat form to the left. So getting back to the purpose of my visit, I did not notice him at first. He's adorable. I love him. Apologies for... He looks like... And then I can't stop staring at him. Apologies for this sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them. Well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker off the other when he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seems patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on what to do next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, man, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. Didn't David say they don't do that? They languish in boredom with their immortality and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. I asked like 3 times the name of the game. Don't eat the cashier. Oh yeah, don't eat the cashier is the name of the game. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So I would be extremely grateful for any help. I'm not gonna give David away. Let's see. I could blackmail David. I'm not gonna do that. I could grab. Let the wolf leave. No. I'm not giving David away. David better give me a tip. Oh, he's mad. I'm not gonna give you away, David. You ain't gotta look at me like that. But you better give me a tip. You can get him to tip more, but it might affect you get his good ending or not. Okay, I'm gonna not give David away, and I'm not gonna blackmail him. That jerk threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's small, trembling, and helpless. He's my jerk. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He's probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay, if he shows up, just give a whistle. He won't far away from here. Good night, ma'am. Oh, goodness. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out of his hiding spot. Oh, I liked it when he was a bat. I mean, he's cool like this too, but he was a cute little bat. You could have turned me in. I could have, but I didn't. You're welcome. He stares into my eyes as if trying to peer into my soul and understand what he's made of. I don't like David like this. You prefer him as the bat? Or maybe you prefer him as when he had half of his face off, because that was another version of David. When he first appeared, he was missing like half his face. And that would have been the sensible decision. But I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. I didn't see that. Yep. When he first showed up, he was missing like half of his face and he was injured. But then I healed him up and now he looks like this. David says this with genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me and now doesn't quite know what to do with that gratitude. I know what he could do with that gratitude. He could put some tips in my tip jar. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. Oh goodness, so many things to say. I take everything life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders. And when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. I just surf the internet, decay and rot. Nothing would change. One could enslave humanity, or at least one neighbors. You could learn so many things. Honestly, I know what I'm gonna pick, but I'm gonna save the game first in case this decision affects what happens. I'd just surf the internet, decay and rot. Nothing would change. I tell him the most terrifying, honest truth. Immortality doesn't change your essence. It just gives you more time to be yourself. Which means a decaying lump of mold surrounded by Chinese instant noodle packs. Seriously? You'll have eternity, power beyond mortal dreams, and you'd spend it rotting behind a computer? Yeah, that makes me happy. Even a vampire thug judges my life choices. But when Naruto tried to become Hokage, he was judged and misunderstood too. I'm just like Naruto. David shakes his head. There's pity in his eyes. And that's even worse than contempt. Your life, your rules. Here for your internet bill. David is about to turn around and leave when he suddenly stopped. He crumbles a piece of paper from his pocket, scribbles a number on it, and leaves it on the table next to my hand. But just that's not a tip. That's not a tip. I thought he was about to leave me a tip. That's not a tip. That's a number. I'll take it, but that's not a tip. I need tips in my tip jar. His hand covers mine, pressing it to the table. His skin feels cold, rough, from barely visible scars and blisters. This grave-like chill sharply contrasts with the warmth of his own hand. You got tips. Did I? He just gave me his number, though. I feel a slight tingling like static electricity. Call me if you need a ride from work. I've got a couple of ideas for what we could do before dawn. See you. Oh, there's money in the tip jar. There's money in the tip jar. I didn't notice that at first. When did that get there? David says goodbye and leaves. The gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to, and I got tips, and I got his number. Hang the drawing on the wall. I have to. For someone obsessed with butt-related threats, surprisingly, his hands are quite still. Is this one itch? Yes, it is, and it's free. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not a demo. It's a full game. Now, I also have a date invitation from a guy who wanted to make me his dinner half an hour ago. I survived another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Hoops? Ooh, this dude looks cool. This is definitely not another vampire.